Did you know that you could be losing money by buying a car? A lot of people believe that owning a car is always the best investment, but does it still make sense in 2025? Insurance, vehicle property tax, maintenance, depreciation. All of this adds up and can turn your vehicle into a true money drain. But what if there was a smarter way to drive a car without worrying about these costs? Is renting a car really a waste of money, or could it be the perfect solution for those who want mobility without surprises in their budget? Today, we're going to break the myths about long-term car rentals and show you when and for whom this alternative makes the most sense. In the end, you might be surprised and realize that buying a car could be the worst financial decision you've ever made. Stay tuned until the end and discover the truth. And before we start, make sure to hit the like button here on the video because it helps the channel grow and bring more content like this. Also, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any new updates. Now, let's get straight to the point. A lot of people grow up with the idea that owning a car is an accomplishment, a symbol of stability and independence. But does that still make sense today? The truth is, times have changed, and what once seemed like an investment can, in fact, be a massive black hole for your money. What almost no one takes into account are the hidden costs of car ownership. Besides the initial value, there's insurance, vehicle property tax, maintenance, depreciation, and let's not even talk about the unpleasant surprises, like a flat tire, an unexpected service, or even an outrageous increase in fuel prices. Let's do the math. Imagine you buy a car worth $100,000. In 5 years, that car has already lost at least 40% of its value, meaning you've already thrown away $40,000 just on depreciation. Now, add to that the vehicle property tax, which is about 4% per year, the insurance, which could cost $3,000 or more, and the regular maintenance, which will be no less than $2,500 a year. In the end, your car is costing much more than you imagined. And the worst part? It keeps depreciating while it's just sitting in your garage. Now, what if I told you that renting a car could be a smarter alternative? Depending on your lifestyle, renting can free you from all these costs. Car rental companies already include insurance, maintenance, and even vehicle replacement in case of any issues. In other words, you don't need to worry about any of that. And there's more. Some rental companies offer flexible plans that allow you to switch cars every year, ensuring that you're always driving a newer model without worrying about resale or depreciation. But wait, I know that renting isn't for everyone. If you're someone who drives a lot, takes long trips, and doesn't want to depend on contracts and mileage limits, buying might still be a more interesting option. The point here isn't to say that one model is better than the other, but to understand which one makes more sense for you. After all, does it really make sense to spend a fortune on a car just for it to sit idle in the garage 90% of the time? And if you're enjoying this analysis, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications. Here, I provide content that really makes a difference in your finances, so don't miss this opportunity. Now, going back to our comparison, let's talk about real numbers. Many companies offer long-term rentals for very affordable prices. For a mid-range car, you can pay around $2,500 per month, with everything included: vehicle property tax, insurance, maintenance, and even a backup car. When compared to the cost of owning a car, this can make a lot of sense for those who want to avoid financial surprises. But I know you might be wondering, what if I want to keep the car for many years? Is renting still worth it? Well, it depends. If the idea is to have a car for 10 years or more, buying might still be the best option. But if you like to switch cars frequently and don't want to deal with bureaucracy, renting can provide you with a stress-free experience that's much more predictable financially. Another important point: renting can be an excellent option for those who need flexibility. For example, if you live in a big city and use public transport every day, it might not make sense to have a car sitting idle in your garage, accumulating costs. In that case, renting a car only when needed might be the ideal solution. Now, let's talk about something that many people ignore: the impact that owning a car has on your quality of life. Keeping a car can be a constant source of stress. From worrying about maintenance to the insecurity of theft and vandalism, all of these factors can cause a huge mental burden. Renting a car eliminates those concerns. Not to mention that, in many cases, you can choose a more comfortable and safer car without having to spend a fortune on the purchase. Another important factor is how the car rental market has evolved in recent years. Today, many rental companies offer customizable plans, allowing you to choose between different mileage packages, additional benefits, and even vehicle models. With the rise of subscription services, renting a car is becoming a more practical and viable solution. To make this analysis even more concrete, I'll share the story of some people who decided to rent instead of buy. There's Joao's case, who always bought cars but realized that the total cost of ownership was weighing on his budget. After doing the math, he realized that by renting a car, he could save more than $15,000 per year. Another example is Carla, who lives in California and only needs a car on weekends. Instead of paying vehicle property tax and insurance, she rents a car whenever she needs it, saving a significant amount of money every month. With the advancement of technology, car rental has become even more convenient. Today, you can rent a car through apps, pick it up and return it without any bureaucratic hassle, and even subscribe to cars with benefits that were once only available to car owners. So, after all this analysis, what's the best choice? It depends on your profile. If you drive a lot, like to have your own car, and are willing to bear all the costs, buying might still be the best option. But if you want to avoid unnecessary expenses, maintain financial flexibility, and not worry about bureaucracy, renting might be the best solution. Ronald always dreamed of having his own car. Since he was a child, he'd heard his dad say that a real man needs to have his own car, and that thought stuck in his mind for years. When he finally saved enough to make a solid down payment, he didn't think twice. He bought a used sedan for $90,000, financing the remainder in 48 installments. To him, it was an investment, a symbol of achievement. In the first month, the excitement was at its peak. He loved driving his own car and felt independent, as though he had reached a new level in life. But soon, the problems began to surface. First came the vehicle property tax, which was over $3,500 up front, a huge hit to his budget. Then, the insurance, which he thought would be simple, cost nearly $4,000 a year. Even so, Ronald tried to justify the expense. "It's part of it," he said. But the surprises didn't stop there. Just 6 months after the purchase, a strange noise in the engine forced him to take the car to the mechanic. The mechanic diagnosed a problem with the timing belt, and the repair would cost at least $2,000. That hurt. He hadn't even finished paying the first year's installments and was already spending a fortune on maintenance. The stress only increased. Every time he left the house, he worried about whether the car would be safe on the street. At the shopping mall, he had to pay a premium to avoid risks and scratches. Fuel prices skyrocketed, and to make matters worse, within 2 years, the car had already depreciated dramatically. When he tried to get a resale estimate, he found that his car, which he had bought for $90,000, was now worth just over $65,000. It was as though he had been throwing money away month after month. That's when Ronald began to rethink his decision. He spoke to a friend who had been renting cars for months without any problems. No worries about maintenance, no vehicle property tax to pay, no headaches with resale. At first, Ronald resisted. How could renting a car be smart? Wouldn't it be a waste of money? But the more he did the math, the more he realized he was losing money on owning a car. Determined to change his approach, he sold the car. He got less than he had hoped for, but he got rid of the installments and the financial burden he had been carrying. With that money, he decided to test a vehicle subscription plan. For $2,500 per month, he got a new car, with insurance, maintenance, and assistance included. If he needed to swap it, he could simply choose another model without any hassle. Suddenly, the stress disappeared. He no longer needed to worry about repairs, tire changes, or depreciation. Everything was taken care of by the rental company, and he only paid for the use. Today, Ronald has much more control over his finances. He invests the difference from what he used to spend and has a much healthier financial plan. The dream of owning his own car was replaced by the reality of a life without headaches. When he looks back, he laughs and asks himself, "Why didn't I do this earlier?" If this video helped you see car rental in a different light, hit the like button, because it really helps the channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button to get more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.